Paizo comes on. Busted out a few old friends today to play the old doozy session man and the old Pro Reverb, sweet old Pro Reverb that I got from Seth Morton many years ago, my dear friend, and it's sure making some noise. But it sounds damn good. That's just a preamp tube. That ain't nothing. Hope everybody's great. Hope everybody's having a reasonable Wednesday so far. Got the kids to school. Had a great time last night. Went out to the Ryman to hang out with the brothers Gutierrez, Alejandro, and Esteban. Man, what a great hang. Just sweet guys, man. Super sweet. Very proud of what they've created. You know, imagine what it takes in 2024, in the age of the quick edit, to have 2,000 people sit their asses down and be quiet while two guys get up on stage and play chill instrumental guitar music with barely any talking. This could have happened in 1966 somewhere, but to imagine it happening now in America is pretty cool, man. What a cool thing these guys have built. 2,000 hipsters sitting there just being totally quiet while they play this like very chill, quiet music. And it was just great to witness. It can still happen, you know. I didn't know we still had that in stock in America, but apparently we still do. It's very cool. It reminded me when I went to Germany in the early 2000s to do some touring, and there was a giant outdoor street festival, like a beer garden festival, and thousands of people, and they were all carrying these big glass beer steins, and nobody broke a single one. I was thinking, boy, you try that shit in Detroit. I think I've talked about that before. Those homeschoolers who have been there might remember that story. It sticks in my mind for some reason. But this guitar, this is the best session man ever. I've played a bunch of these. This one's fucking awesome. Super lightweight. I haven't pulled it out of the case in months, and I pulled it out of the case a minute ago, and it was dead in tune on the tuner. Like dead in tune. I didn't change one thing. That's pretty cool. You know, what a cool guitar, and it's so good sounding. You heard that, like when you can blend in that piezo pickup, or as the French say, piezo, or as people have always corrected me on that. I like to say piezo because it just sounds good. Everybody gets all up in arms about that. They don't like when Larry says things wrong. There's all these correction dogs out there. They don't like the way I say my favorite spaghetti sauce name. Rayo's, Rouse, I call it Rouse. They say it's Rayo's, Larry. But that's all right. I like people out there fact-checking and keeping me honest, you know. It's I can't just get on here and spew a bunch of myths because you guys will cut me to pieces. I also can't say what I really want to say a lot of times because you know what I might do? When I find out that I'm about to die or something, if I get some really bad news, like you have a week to live, Larry, something like that, I'm going to make an episode that's going to be a banger, man. I'm going to talk about all the shit I always wanted to tell you, but it's impossible to get away with it in this sensitive, trigger-happy, PC world that we live in. you can't ruffle too many feathers, you know. I like to keep shit real edgy, but I push it as far as I can go without it, you know, being canceled. You know, with my free YouTube channel that people still complain about. Larry, one guy on here yesterday said, "You hear how much better the instruments sound on Tim Pierce's channel and Red Schul's channel because they got actual microphones." Yeah, they're also better players than I am, and it's like it's a free channel, you numbnuts. I never even expected to have 1,000 subscribers, let alone 100,000. He said you can get 100,000 more subscribers if you get a microphone in your amp, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't want that many. That seems like too much to take care of. 100,000 is plenty of people to take care of. That's good, and I appreciate having that. A couple questions from the VCB. I wanted to say, not to bring everybody down, but a dear friend of mine died yesterday, and I wanted to, in video, mention what a lovely guy he was. A guy named Russell Caudle, who was a drummer from Memphis. I used to play in a band with years and years ago. Just a lovely guy. I guess he died of some kind of blood infection or something like that. And he was healthy as a horse, always outdoors doing shit. I always envied his zest for life. He was a life at a party kind of guy. Always up to no good and mischievous soul and just fun guy to hang around, man. I'd fallen out of touch with him, and just last summer, I ran into him somewhere, and he invited me over for a nice little pool party that they had. And he had a great little neighborhood over there. Sweet wife, Meredith, and they invited us over, and we had a great hang over there. I brought the boys over, and that's the last I'd seen him. And I just got the bad news yesterday. He moved on, but man, what a great dude. Russ, love you, buddy. I'll see you real soon. Yeah, so let's get into some VCB. One guy said, "Hey, Larry, were you ever a people pleaser?" Oh, Lord Jesus, was I? I was miserable all through my 20s and 30s trying to be a people pleaser. Oh, 50th anniversary Fairweather shirt. Thanks, Paul. It's a step up from a Gildan. Still not real comfortable. It's called a Jerseys. Have you guys tried that one? But thank you for sending the poem. You're a sweetheart. But yeah, man, when I first started being a session guy, I was such a people pleaser that it was killing me. It was eating me from the inside out. I wasn't happy until everyone was jumping up and down in the control room over what I was playing. It was unbelievable. I felt like I failed if they weren't celebrating visibly through the glass. And that kind of shit, I wouldn't say no to anybody, and it was killing me. I was killing myself on the inside, trying to make everybody happy while I was miserable the whole time. I don't know what happened. Late 30s at some point, I just said, fuck this. I am changing this. I am going to live my life for myself. And I just adopted this policy of just brutal honesty. Brutal. I tell people, man, I'm the most brutally honest dude you will ever meet. I will never tell you something that isn't real. And it hurts sometimes, man. It hurts sometimes. People sometimes don't want to hear the real truth, but it hurts sometimes to say it. But I think in the end, it helps everybody. I know they know where I stand on all this stuff, and I think it's a gift to give people when you could. They know that if you say, "Man, that was really good," they know you mean it, and they know you're not just saying that to shine them on. I have no regrets about this life of brutal honesty I live. I mean, people ask me to try out their gear. I tell them right up front, man, I'll do it for you, but you're probably not going to like it if I'm going to give you the straight answer. But some people really appreciate that. And I really like people that appreciate brutal honesty because I appreciate it. I don't mind if somebody hurts my feelings a little bit, telling me the brutal, honest truth. I think that's a gift. And once I started doing that and getting away from the people-pleasing mentality, my life got way better. I mean, it goes in line with another question a guy said. A guy said, I'm in my 20s and I'm lost and confused. Any advice? Well, dude, you're supposed to be lost and confused in your 20s. No one's happy in their 20s. It's impossible. The cruel irony of life is that the 20s, you're the most healthy and beautiful you will ever be, and you're also the most mentally anguished. Life doesn't start making any sense, especially for a male, until age 30. Your brain is fully developed, and all of a sudden you get some clarity. But 20s is just a confused mess. All people do in their 20s is sit around and wish for the things that they don't have yet. They don't have enough money to buy what they really want. They don't have enough connections to get where they really want. And they just sit around and worry about all that when they should be going, wow, I'm the most beautiful and healthy I will ever be in my life. What should I do today? But instead, I mean, all I did was I was miserable about what I didn't have yet and what I wanted, and I was jealous of people that had what I wanted. And I didn't start getting any clarity out of life until 30. So I think my advice to any 20-something-year-olds, just if you can just get through your 20s without dying or killing yourself or fucking your life up so bad you can't recover from it, that's all you got to do, basically. Because 30s is when shit starts happening. Trust me on this, okay? Unrelated, a guy said, hey, Larry, are you and Guthrie happy with the reviews you've gotten so far of the record? Man, thrilled. This record has exceeded any of our expectations tenfold. I mean, we were just hoping to get our money back, and it's already like tripled that in the first couple days. It's amazing. You know, it just goes to show if you make something from the heart that's real and make something for you and make something that you think is cool, and you invite people to go along for the journey, good shit happens. People that struggle are the ones that are making shit for everybody else. I've been around so many artists that make records for other people. They're not even making them for themselves. It's pitiful. It's a mess. Because then if it doesn't commercially do well, it's a double fail. Because not only did it not commercially do well, but you also didn't even make a record you liked. My advice there, if anybody gives a fuck, is to, even if it's a total failure, make the record you want to make. Make a record that you'll like 20 years from now. Even who cares if it's a fail or not commercially? Just don't ever do anything that's not what you think is cool. If nobody likes it, it doesn't matter. As long as you were true to your heart. See, I've been lucky to have a sideline seat as a session man. You get a first row seat, watch a million careers go up and down, or up and up, or whatever. I have watched so many people take that leap from nowheresville to celebrity, and studied the human nature involved, what happens to people. Some people handle it very well. Some people should have been stars, but they weren't, and it kills you to see what happened to them after that. But the worst pain I've ever seen is people that do what other people think they should do, and they don't do it for themselves. And that is hard to watch, because then if the record doesn't make it, they get dropped from the label. I got a story for you, man. Story time with Larry. I have a friend who's a big time producer. Okay, great guy. Fucking love this dude. Dear friend. Nothing but respect for this guy. He's been great to me, and he runs a label where they sign a shit ton of artists, you know, and they also drop a shit ton of artists. So he wanted to do a showcase years ago with this all the artists that are on his stable, right? So he wanted me to be in the house band. So I said, sure. I love this guy. I don't really like doing gigs like that, to be honest, but I did it for him because I love this dude. So we're at the gig, right? And I was on stage right, and he was right off the wings on stage right. And he would walk each artist out to the front of the stage, and there was probably a dozen artists on this gig, right? New artists, up and coming artists. in the country realm. And he would always say little things to me as he walked by, joking around, you know, because dudes love to do that, you know, say things, goofing around. And so he walks several artists past me, and then like he gets to like the fifth or sixth artist, and he walks this sweet little girl out, and she goes up to the microphone, and he comes walking back right past me, going off stage, and he goes, "She doesn't know it yet, but we just dropped her." And I was just like, oh man, the cruel machine that spits people out, man. It's brutal, man. The radio tours that these people have to do. My dear ex-wife was a victim of that. Her and Taylor Swift were coming up at the exact time, and they were both totally unknown. And they would sit together in airports all across America doing these silly radio tours. They were friends, you know, and they were both trying to get to the same place, and they would commiserate and hang out, you know. And she would always tell me, yeah, me and Taylor were going to Buffalo for some fucking dumbass radio show with creepy radio guys always trying to, you know, put their hands on them and shit. Creepy shit that those radio guys do. It's been well known for a long time. The radio tour that young artists have to go on to get on radio in the old days was really a nasty world. Those guys would, you know, wine and dine the artist with the company card and get a little inappropriate at times. Man, it's been going on forever. It'll probably never stop. I don't even know if radio's even a thing anymore, but it was back in those days. But I remember seeing what it was like when Taylor just blew up, and, you know, and Sarah was like, you know, like she had some success, but it was just like, wow, man, it could happen to anyone, and it can also not happen to anyone. And seeing, you know, who gets chosen, you know, it's pretty crazy. We're getting too long here. I better hang up. I have more shit, but we'll stop at that. Real quick, one guy said, what are 5 great movies that most people haven't seen? Larry, I'm going to throw these. Everyone out there on this channel should watch all these movies, okay? 70s movie called Being There with Peter Sellers. If you haven't seen that, please just watch it. It's fucking amazing. An old Harvey Keitel movie called Smoke. You got to see that. Of course, Glengarry Glen Ross, one of the greatest movies of all time. Please watch that if you haven't seen it. A Simple Plan with Billy Bob Thornton and Bill Paxton. Fucking amazing movie. And lastly, 2019 Skin. You've got to see that movie. It's fucking heavy as fuck. All right, friends. Have a great day. Peace out.